Some heavy hitters like Sam Rockwell, Saorsie Ronan, and Adrien Brody come together to present the Agatha Christie-inspired murder mystery, See How They Run. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film, See How They Run. If you missed this in theaters like I did when it was released in September, you can see it now on HBO Max. Like I mentioned, a lot of heavy hitters involved with this one, and I was very excited for this movie. I really like both of the two leads. Saorsie Ronan, one of my favorite actresses. Sam Rockwell, never disappoints. So very excited about this one. Before we launch into some of the plot schematics here without spoilers of See How They Run, I do want to welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thanks for finding this video. Lots of movie and TV stuff on the channel for you to check out, and please consider subscribing down below. Would love to have you aboard there, or if you want to just like or comment on this video, that all helps the channel out, so I would appreciate it. So like I said, this is Agatha Christie inspired, but even more than that, Agatha Christie is a character in this movie in a minor way as well, portrayed by who is doing their best Agatha Christie, Shirley Henderson, who I'm not super familiar with. But in any event, this takes place in the 50s in London's West End, and surrounding the 100th performance of the famous Agatha Christie play, The Mousetrap. And there is talk of, hey, maybe we should turn this into a movie. It's got such a successful run. However, the director, the would-be director, I should say, of the picture, played by Adrien Brody, is killed backstage right after the curtain goes down on that 100th performance. And so the murder mystery begins. We have Sam Rockwell as Inspector Stoppard, and he is teamed with a constable who is, a little bit green behind the ears, let's say, played by Saorsie Ronan, and the two of them try to figure out what exactly happened, who is the killer here, and why exactly. And each member of the cast is now, of course, a suspect, and people behind the scenes are suspects as well. Some people have a desire to keep the production running. Some people have a desire to stop the production from running so the movie can be made quicker. So yeah, it goes from there. Murder mystery is obviously very hot right now. I would say probably the 1-2 punch of Rian Johnson's Knives Out, which of course is getting a sequel coming up in a few weeks. That was obviously a huge movie, but right before that there was the Agatha Christie remake of Murder on the Orient Express with Hercule Poirot. So, I think the 1-2 punch of those success stories at the box office have given us more murder mysteries to enjoy. Personally, I love them. I'm very much looking forward to Knives Out 2, which is called Glass Onion. And also, earlier this year we had Confess Fletch. They brought back the Fletch character for another comedic take on the murder mystery. So a lot of factors here leading into a movie like this getting greenlit. I was very excited to see it, and I will admit it doesn't quite all come together the way that I hoped it would. First of all, because it's sort of set in the real Agatha Christie universe, there was so much like winking and nudging and nodding at the camera. For me, it was a little too meta, right down to, one of the characters saying, oh, is this where it says 3 weeks later? And then on the screen, it says 3 weeks later. It's like you knew it was coming from a mile away. As soon as the sentence started, you could tell. There's too much of that here. I can appreciate the art of the sort of meta humor, but I think there's too much of it here. There's too much sort of mugging at the camera in that regard. I would like something a little more subtle, like Confess Fletch or Knives Out. Knives Out, by the way, it's an A+ movie, and one of my favorites the year it came out. So I knew it wasn't going to be quite as good as that. But you've got these two leads, like I mentioned, two people I really enjoy, and I thought their chemistry on screen was great. Saorsie Ronan, I think, has never given us a performance that wasn't worthy of her talents. Sometimes the movie is not quite up to par, but she never misses in the performance department. And Rockwell, I think we could probably say the same about. So the two of them coming together, I thought worked really well. And I don't know for sure. I have my suspicions, but again, to not be spoilery, I don't even know the answer. But I would suspect that this movie and the murder mystery within unravels probably pretty similarly to The Mousetrap. So if you are familiar with that work from Agatha Christie, you may know, kind of a little more what happens in this than I knew going in. I do think it's a pretty decent murder mystery. But again, at just 98 minutes, I didn't quite expect to be not necessarily bored. I wasn't bored. I can't say that, but underwhelmed, I think is probably a good term. It sort of wrapped up. They figured out what was going on, and then boom, credits rolled, and that's it. Whereas Knives Out, we had a couple of different endings, long after we figured out who done it. And I don't know, maybe I would have liked to see that a little bit more. But not being familiar with The Mousetrap, I have to say, the mystery aspect worked for me. It definitely did. So overall, this is an enjoyable enough film. It's a slight recommend for me, but definitely a pale imitation to those other ones I mentioned. I'm very excited to review Glass Onion in a couple of weeks. It's coming to Netflix, I think, right around Thanksgiving. But I think this is worth checking out if you've got 90 minutes to kill, and if, like myself, you enjoy seeing these actors do their thing. The chemistry here between Ronan and Rockwell, I enjoyed. I would like to see more movies with this pairing. Or at the very least with the Rockwell character, but I kind of like them together. So I could definitely get behind, a series of these movies, even if this one was a little bit of an underwhelming start, which I think it was. So I will leave See How They Run with a C+. That's a full letter. Each one gets progressively, Knives Out was an A+, Confess Fletch earlier this year was a B+. This one is a step down from that. But I think it's still a slight recommend. I think for the right audience, if you've got, some time to kill, this will fit that murder mystery spot until we get Glass Onion in a few weeks. So, all right, thanks for watching, and I'll see everybody next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.